Let's get my next guest out. If you don't like the boogie woogie, you might want to look away now. Here he is, the fabulous Mr. Jools Holland. An iconic figure strides out. Oh, Jools Holland. Hello, Jools, how are you?
I'm very good. It's beautiful to be here with all these lovely people.
It's great to have you here, and they're very excited to see you as well, I can tell.
Yes. Oh, how lovely.
You won't believe this, but Jools Holland just celebrated quite an important milestone birthday. 55 years old.
55.
That's incredible.
Speed limit in America.
Wow. You know, it's Alicia's birthday this week. We'll find out that later on. But you've worked with Alicia, haven't you? She's done the show.
She is fantastic. She's one of the most amazing artists because she can do, like, classical piano. She's got the sort of little blues take. Oh, she's marvellous.
Can you do classical as well?
Well, a little bit. It's not my specialist forte. I'm a boogie-woogist.
Yes.
I make no bones about it. It's a great and important music. It comes from a great place.
The boogie-woogie is an important music?
Oh, yes. It's the beginning of, as my great friend Charlie Watts, the Rolling Stone drummer, says, it's the beginning of everything.
Wow.
It's the beginning of rock and roll. This is boogie woogie.
That's quite a claim to make.
Yes, I'm here to make it here on the Jonathan Ross Show tonight.
Claims.
It is the beginning of everything. I can tell you at the piano if you like.
Well, we'll go over, maybe do a bit. We would like to hear Jools play a bit, wouldn't we, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we'll do that. But there's another celebration going on. I believe it's the 20th anniversary of Later, isn't it? You've been doing that show for 20 years now?
It seems unthinkable to be doing that show for 20 years. Yeah, because shows don't go on for that long. Actually, how long have you been doing this show for?
About 75 years.
Yes, I thought so. Yes,
But I've been doing this kind of thing for... But I've had, as you know, breaks in my career. But...
yeah, but you have yeah.
Some natural, some otherwise. But 20 years, one show, one channel, the same show as well. That's really is unusual.
But it's not because of me, it's because of the music. Yeah. We are all the servants of the song. And in fact, there we are with Alicia.
There you are with the lovely Alicia. But there are some bands I've seen, sometimes I tune, I love watching Later, and I tune and see these great guys. I've seen Isaac Hayes on your show, I remember seeing him, Lou Reed, Dusty Springfield I saw, and that was a real treat, because you don't see her doing much stuff. What about Ray Charles? Did you ever have him on? Because we had Jamie Foxx on a couple of weeks ago, who's just a brilliant guest and a wonderful talent in his own way. But he was talking about meeting Ray before he died, and I know you're a fan of his. Ray was the
most fantastic fellow, really, because he did all sorts of music, but whenever he sang anything, you didn't need to understand about jazz or country or whatever the thing was. Names didn't apply to it. It just became fantastic. And he was going to do a song that I wrote with Sam Brown, and then he got too ill and couldn't do it. I saw him live in England a couple of times, and one time I went with Lucien Freud, the painter, and do you know what he said to me? He said, I love that Ray Charles. Do you notice his legs, when he's at the piano, they just go like this? And I'd never noticed it, but actually Ray Charles's legs are as much part of... So if ever you see a film of Ray, check the legs, they're kind of part of it.
Look for the legs.
Yes, a lot of people don't spot that.
No.
It's all about the piano and the singing, but no, his legs are pretty good.
Well, now I'm going to be staring at your legs when you play the piano.
Well,
do
exactly,
you do a similar kind of pedaling motion?
They'll feel rather self-conscious.
Now, you've got a new album out. It's called The Golden Age of Song. And there's some incredible people. Tell us some of the people on this album with you.
Well, we wanted to get a lot of the people who've been on Come On Later or Come On the Hootenanny. A lot of the young artists, they don't... You know, no music comes from nowhere. It all starts off... It's all from something else. So, and all of them have an old song that they love. So we thought it would be interesting to get people to do the old songs that they love. And so some people, they would go right back to the sort of early sort of 1920s or the 1930s. Other people, like Jessie J, her early songs are from the 1980s, you know. So the golden age of song is very big, and it's bringing all those different sort of new artists who all have a song that they sing that their mum likes best, or the song that they sort of grew up listening to, you know. And that's when a song becomes in the golden age of song. It's when people sort of know it, and it becomes in the song.
And it's kind of a family song as well, maybe. It's something that everyone loves.
Yes, yeah.
OK, let's have a look. This is a taster for you of Jools performing with some of the exceptional talents he has on this album. Have a look at this.
Play with fire, get your fingers burned. But when you got nowhere else to turn.
That's September in the rain.
That's why ladies are
That's like a who's who of the biggest stars of today. Right there.
There's see CeeLo there.
Gotta love
It's
CeeLo
interesting.
Green.
Sometimes you have to reinvent a song, but sometimes, you know, that great music, that great... Like, that's like from the Rhythm and Blues catalogue. But that great music is like Mozart. You know, you can get people to do it. And CeeLo grew up listening to Jackie Wilson. He studied it. That song he used to sing to his mum. And I said, do you know any Jackie? He said, know it. And he started singing it, and he just lit up. And he'd studied that record so much, it gave him such joy to do it. When you see him, because at last he can sort of have he doesn't do it in his own set, but he can do it with us, you know, it's great.
At the beginning, we saw, of course, Amy Winehouse singing with you. That was from later, I guess.
It was from our Hootenanny, and she does a duet with Paul Weller of Don't Go to Strangers, which is a great song, very strange song. And she came and sang with the orchestra a few times, and she was amazing.
And she was still keeping it together back then. I mean, she looked really OK in that clip, so she was
when she
pretty
performed,
healthy.
I think when she performed, she was OK. And I think that one of the things about music actually is that when people are ill or whatever, or when they do the music, if they're fortunate, it liberates them from whatever the problems are. So the music's all right, it's just that maybe the rest of their lives
when life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Jules said he'd play for us. Would you like to hear Jules play a bit, ladies and gentlemen? Let's head over.
Come over
the
here.
piano is, and you can maybe demonstrate. You can back up that preposterous theory about boogie woogie you delivered earlier.
No, I tell you, I haven't got my big band here, but you did say to me earlier, well, what is... Oh, hello.
Just checking it was working.
Yes, no, that's it. A. It is an A, actually. No, I'm pleased you did ask me earlier, what was boogie woogie?
Yes.
You know, and that's a very good question. And where does it come from? It was bougie woogie, and it was a French term for a completely uninhibited party. And the people in New Orleans, the Creole people, used to use it, you see. But there was a fantastic ragtime pianist and stride pianist called William Turk at the turn of the century. And stride piano, in case you were wondering, you've got a wondering look.
I don't know what stride is.
Well, a stride is this, where you stride with your left hand, like so. So my left hand is striding up and down, see? Like this, going like this.
Nice.
But he was so enormous... Oh, thanks very much. Thank you very much. Anyway, so he was so enormously fat, he was unable to reach his hand across his belly. So he could no longer do this. He could no longer... So he had to develop a left hand that didn't pass his belly, which was in the middle.
It had to stay on that side of the...
So he then developed this left hand, which was like so. So... See, but never going past the belly.
Never go past that.
Exactly. Like so. So that's... And you be... There's just... So then we move ahead to Pine Top Smith. Surely you're familiar with Pine Top.
Of course, old Pine Top.
Yes, exactly. No, with Pine Top Smith. And he then has the first record with Boogie Woogie in it, and then we're getting on to the stuff we then recognise. I think that's 1926, something like this, maybe 1929.
27, yeah,
that sort of thing. Yes, I thought, just checking.
Maybe
and
28.
that's where he does the...
Oh, yeah.
Nice bit of a roll.
Yeah. Then straight into that. I feel like I should have a drink. I feel like I'm in a lock-in in a pub. Wow.
So he does that, and then that's... Oh, no, I'm just sorry, I was more... All right.
So we're moving up from the turn of the century to the 20s.
And then Fats Domino moves along, and then he's suddenly doing this. The roll's still there.
Like that.
And then Fats does this, you see. No, Fats, thank you. So then we move along to the comparatively modern times.
Jules, how long do you think we've got this evening? Two people have come over from Australia to be here.
Well, they're interested in this sort of thing. They're learning something.
That was fabulous, though. I'm always enamoured of your talent. Mr. Jools Holland, ladies and gentlemen. And get the album. It's incredible. An incredible album. Jools Holland.